Hello, good
Hello,
morning.
good morning.
At this okay, at this moment we meet students on topics of the one you start,
Okay,
please.
my topic is about Colombia speaks English to achieve global communication. The speech and the need to establish teaching strategies through a methodology to address and overcome the difficulty involving the importance of English language learning at general level in Colombia. It's pertinent to take into account the process of globalization of the opening of the economy, intercultural communication, and the high rate of scientific and technological progress. It exerts pressures on our lives, demanding the development of communicative competence in a foreign language such as English. Mm, in response to globalization and the evolution of communicative competence, Colombia has recognized the importance and difficulties of promoting guidelines that aim to strengthen the teaching learning of English. However, along the way, it has left important gaps during the execution of the process, and therefore it's necessary to investigate assertive methodologies that efficiently promote personal and integral development of the individual given the ascendance that globalization brings with the competence, competitiveness, and development of new information technologies. Um, the General Education Law emphasizes on curriculum conception focused on process and competence with a flexible, participatory, and open character that tends toward the integral development of people. Uh, the capital and wealth that countries produce plurilinguals are translated to linguistic capital for each individual. Um, Pretends of offering the possibility of having more contact and inspiring with another language, another culture, and addressing it from a strategic perspective that conceives it has means to increase in each person their communication skills and to integrate knowledge to work as a team to better understand the world reality and its effect on the Colombian context. Mm, we must need to investigate improvements in the educational process, emphasizing inventions in the didactic media that make teaching learning possible, arranging projects or interdisciplinary plans that are colorful and encourage people from the smallest to the largest to adopt interests and disposition in the educational fields for an estimable and correct integral formation that allows them to face the aberration of the current world. Um, Now, the following question will be asked for my classmate. Mm, there are two questions about that I have exposed. I think that my classmate Diana, I think that right, or
Yes.
I'm wrong. Yeah, okay. And now about I have exposed. Could you tell us a little experience about your English learning?
Yeah, of course, I could. Well, my English experience in my English learning experience has been a little long. Like 3 years ago, I studied in an English institute in Ibagueto, Lima. I'm sorry, where I learned English for 10 months. So I graduated in that institute with a intermediate level of English level, sorry. And after that, the next year, 2 years ago, I start to study in UNAD University, the bachelor degree in English. So it has been a very good experience. When I start to learn English, it was very difficult for me because I didn't know anything about it. My English experience in high school, in primary and high school, it was very absent. So, but now I think it was a very good experience.
Mm, okay, I agree with you. When you said about the learning in the school, the English learning in the school is low. I share with you your idea. The second question is, uh, what are the advantages and disadvantages of knowing English in relation to current globalization? Could you response or answer?
Could I repeat that? Could I answer that question?
Yeah, of
Uh,
course. Yes.
Okay, an advantage of disadvantage to learn English here. Maybe that in Colombia there are a lot of disadvantages because teachers maybe at the university or don't have the ways to improve that to their student because don't have the materials of the good strategy for them. And in Colombia, I think to improve the English, first, teachers have to teach English in an elementary school with a public school. In a public school, you know that the children don't have the opportunity to learn English. If you learn English when you go to a high school, this is a disadvantage because only the teenagers that are in a private schools or university have a good level, or people that can travel to the other countries can learn English. And I think in Colombia the educational system is a little bad. I think that. So
Okay. And now it's at the end it's appropriate to indicate that in Colombia they are adjusting change according to the contemporary need regarding their methodologies of comprehensive and professional training. They are only considering that accumulating knowledge is essential. Well, classmate, I think that is that's all. Anyone can go ahead.
Okay, Duan. Thank you so much for your speech. Now it's my turn, right?
Okay,
Okay,
classmate.
partner.
yeah, Diana, please.
Okay, well, I will start with my speech. My topic is, or the title is, Cultural Implications for Bilingual Education in Colombia. In this speech, I will show the relation between bilingual education and culture. And more specifically, what are the cultural implications in bilingual education, and what is the way how it must see the evidence of an intercultural approach in a bilingual education. Well, I have two questions for you. The first question is, what is culture? Give me a personal answer. Who want to answer this question? What is culture? Hello.
Okay, I think for me,
Yes.
for me, culture is a traditions that people have in any
Yes.
place. Maybe that they normally do in any place. The traditions. So
Yes. Thank you. You're right. Now, the second question is for Kerly. Do you think that when you learn a second language, it's important to know about its culture?
Yeah. I think it is very important because in knowing the culture of a language allow is to be contextualized to achieve better communication and relationship. Um, strengthening the learning of the language and no more.
Okay, thank you. Well,
Okay.
this topic is very important because most people in Colombia have little interest about the implication of content with other cultures, especially when people want to become bilinguals. So, there are many
okay.
cultural implications or things that we have to take in mind in the process. This process includes teachers, learners, bilingual programs, bilingual institutions. So we have to talk about of them in cultural terms. Okay. Well, bilingual education in Colombia is a topic who relate many parts and implications. As I told you before, I mean about culture, teachers, learners, bilingual programs, and institutions. Well, for many years in Colombia, cultural enrichment in bilingual education is a part which have been little valued. For that reason, the author Annie Acevedo talk about the following words. Learning another language opens the doors for them to other cultures and allows them to enrich themselves. According to this, development of cultural sensitivity, development of coherent intercultural institutional policies, and re-evaluation of the role of Colombian bilingual teachers are the cultural implications that I will explain you in this speech. The first implication is development of cultural sensitivity. Well, imagine that you are an bilingual learning, right? When you are in a program of bilingual education, you have to know about two cultures, your own one and the second one. For that reason, it's very important that teachers and students have a good relationship and a good knowledge about the importance to know of the culture. In order to help the student in the development of cultural sensitivity, teachers need to be helped to raise their awareness on such issues. It means that learners and teachers have to raise their own awareness in the importance of cultural education. Okay? The second one implication is development of coherent intercultural institutional policies. As we know, in Colombia there are many bilingual institutions. For example, in my personal experience, I learned English in a bilingual institution. So, we need, or the government should find that these institutions reaffirm the same for our culture and understanding for other cultures. Well, the last implication is reevaluation of the role of Colombian bilingual teachers. Well, one Colombian teacher who provides evidence of positive images of Colombian culture in all the senses is a teacher who has the ability to teach an intercultural understanding and who can understand and help children in all their difficulties. That means that the bilingual institution in Colombia should get job to Colombian bilingual teachers because they have the experience to teach children or maybe adults about the importance of the Colombian culture and in the same sense in the importance of other cultures, right? Well, in conclusion, teachers and students related with the bilingual education in Colombia should be aware of the importance of the cultural and interculturality, its implication, its benefits, and its abilities for themselves, right? Let me briefly restate this main point. So, remember that the culture is an important point in the bilingual education. It includes teacher bilingual programs, politics, learners, and many more aspects. But take in mind that all the characters implicated in this topic should be aware of the importance of the interculturality. That's all for my speech.
Okay. Very good. It's okay. Partner Diana.
Diana, congratulations. I can understand all about you were speaking now. I think this is a important topic to study because one of the advantage to learn English is that you can learn to the other cultures. And this is very important for us that we are in this process of learning English. Now I think it's my turn. Okay. My name is Juliana. For this opportunity, I'm going to talk about estándares básicos de competencias en lenguas extranjeras. Inglés contributes to educating bilingual Colombian citizens. This topic is very important for aspects to develop and girls and the basic and medium levels. To help them achieve the goal to set out the Vision Colombian 2019 document. Say that the goal is for students in grade 11 to earn an immediate level for English proficiency in level B1 according to the Common European Framework of reference of language. You know that about the common European mark? Uh,
Yeah,
have,
I
have you
have.
ever listened about that?
Yes,
That is,
I
if
have
you are
heard
in the
about
one,
this.
if you are in the two, those are the level. Then in the
Yes.
standard, there is a specific level for each grade. That in Colombian education. Learning, teacher, and assessment, enabling them communicate in language appropriate knowledge and use effectively in a real communication situations. Now, the standards in Colombia are very easy to understand, I think. The National Bilinguals Program is made to achieve citizens capable of communicating in English so that they insert the country into the universal communication process. In the global economy and a culture opens with traditionally compared standards. This proposal implies a structured plan of the development of Colombian skills to the throughout the education system. English standards are fundamental guide for English teachers. The managers and parents are clear about communication skills that children are expected to develop and girls and the basic medium levels. Also, the students are structurally organized for a secondary education. In fact, the standards are organized in four groups. First to third grade, fourth to fifth grade, sixth to seventh grade, 18th to ninth grade, and 10th to 11th. For each group of grade, there is a particular levels to common European system. First to third, beginner to one or B1. The second is basic 1 to 2.2. This is the common European level. I think you know. When students are in 8 to 11 grade, they are in intermediate level. Follow this structure. The standards are for comprehension and production. For comprehension skills are further subdivided into listening and reading skills. And the production ones are subdivided to a skill related to writing and the use of oral language, both in the production of monologues and in the conversation. Writing, monologues, and conversation. Now, there are 5 standards. Listening, reading, monologues, conversation, and writing. There are 5, and they are organized for different grades, from first level to 11th grade and high school. In this regard, it should be very note that the number of standards proposed for a group of grade can be divided equal. For example, 6 in grade 2 and 6 in grade 3. They're not a specific level that you have to work for this grade. The standard may be 1, 2, or 3. And that either can one thing of a separation be clearly the limit period of the school year to work with some of them. The set of standards is achieved gradually and integrate manner in levels of expressing complex. It is very important to emphasize that the specific standard involves both the communication competence and skill knowledge. All these elements guarded and interrelate and what make up the basic competence. So each statement should be read with all the components of communication competence in mind and also the various skills and knowledge that come into play in every case. In conclusion, every teacher, for example, we are in this process of learning English to be a teacher in the future maybe, we have to know all the standards. In my experience, I am an English teacher. I have 8 years teaching English. Then I have a clarity of the standards when I'm going to teach to my students. This is a guide that I have to follow because in day I have the clarity what I have to teach to my student if they are in first level or if they are in 11th grade. Then I invite you that read the cartilla of Ministerio de Educación in Colombia, that in there they are specific standards and they are organized in tables, in timetables. Then I think it's very important and necessary that you read that, learn that, and use that when you begin to teach in any school. It's all for me. Do you have any question for me?
Okay.
Well,
No.
excuse me, back about your exposition, but actually the standard must be focused on achieving citizens capable of communicating in English. So
Yes.
that they can insert the country in the process of universal communication in the global economy and cultural opens with international comparable standards. I think that this purpose in place a structured plan for the development of communication skills throughout the educational system. Something like that, yeah?
Okay, very good. Thanks, Felipe. This is very important. Yes, this is the standards are organized to have students that can introduce their knowledge in a globalization world. Yeah. Then the Ministerio of de Educación in Colombia need or make this plan of standards that teachers can teach in a better way. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. I have contribution for the speech. I think the bilingualism is very important because it allows use the strengthen social ties and ground on a personal level in terms of language. Okay?
Yes.
Okay?
Well, about this also I want to share too. The ministry have established such standards according to the common European framework. For example, for the first to third grade, A1 and 4 to 5 grade, A2 and 6 to 7th grade, A2 and 8 and 11th grade could be B1 and could be pre-intermediate and actually and beginner. So could about the common framework European. Now I think that we are continuing. Anyone are gonna to share another contribution about the last piece?
No, I think that is the Curly's turn.
Okay.
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 Everybody.
Okay, my name is Kerly. My name is Kerly Urley Patiño Palma. In this moment, at the present, the topic foreign language education policy in Colombia. This speech focus on analyzing the national bilingual program in relation to other education reforms, looking at the whether it is inclusive or exclusive in current education policies. Therefore, we reflect on the knowledge that this brings to learning foreign language. Okay. The foreign language education policy in Colombia is a process that has been going on for many years, in which the results have no been as positive since they exclude and favor financial interests. Okay, um, recognizing recognizing the importance of language for communication and the relationship of society, the reforms that the government has implemented in bilingual education are analyzed, and it is sought to examine how the new reforms favor the process of inclusion, exclusion, and stratification through transfer of policies, and what issues arise from how this. Okay. Of policies in Colombia before the national bilingual program was issued. Um, for example, in the in the 90 years, the education practice were established transition that helped to centralize it, in addition to separation in the church and the state. Okay, and el statement 2 plan, in the context, the government has a misconception of what is bilingualism, because they limited it, believing that it is only English, Spanish, English, and then when in reality it covers more an incoherent plan. They don't know the knowledge local and efforts to improve school and professional development. This is Gonzalez, uh, 20 and 7, and Quintero. Um, I just say, show also take into account that Colombia is a multi-ethnic and multilingual country, and even so indigenous silence. Okay, and the three is the actual and potential effects on the academic community in general. Um, is the programs no provide a favor and linguist minorities. Instead, it contributes to the promotion of elite bilingualism, a process that was described by Mejia 2002, a privileged group of people who, due to a lifestyles, employment opportunities, or education, they need to frequently move from one the country to another, or the to nature of the organizations they work from, and then so they need to interact with the speakers of different language on a daily basis. In effect, only certain types of people are favored. In no more, and finally, the National Bilingualism Program doesn't seem to provide a favorable context for cultural and linguistic minorities, contributing to bilingualism into the country at the expense of local knowledge. Ordering teacher and student according to the education center they attend and the score they obtain on a standardized tests, favoring the consolidation of a lucrative market around language techniques. Okay, y um, this is very important that are the use present here reflect on the policies that they have imposed on use for same years, and that we act positively to find ways to manage it a better bilingual plan where all people benefit, and not only those who have a better economic position, taking in account the inclusion and recognition of our native language. Okay. In this moment, I make the question is the what do you understand bilingualism? Has anyone heard the term?
Yes. Well, can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, partner Dayana. What do you understand bilingualism?
Okay, for the concept of bilingualism, I think that bilingualism is when you know your own language and you want to learn a second one. For example, in our case, our first language is Spanish, right? And we are learning
Okay.
English. So it is the second one language. So bilingual is when you want to know about all the concept, culture, music. I mean, all about the a second language.
Okay, thanks. It's important recognize if the mechanisms used in this program work for learning foreign and native language. And thank you for the for your contribution. Okay, and no more. And the partner, the one
Well,
I have conclusion.
Yeah, before that, I also want to share my idea about the last question. Bilingualence refers to the different degrees of a mastery which an individual manage to communicate in more than one language and culture. Mm, the different degrees depend on the context in which each person develops. According to the use made of our language other than mother tongue, they acquire the character of a second language or foreign language. That's all about your question. Well, now regarding the subject and the process in general, I would like to thank you for the commitment and the veracity of your contribution. Was a great contribution and interaction of knowledge that enriched us comprehensively and in understanding of it, and thanks for the commitment. So see you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for you too. Bye.
Okay.